Good afternoon. Thank you very much for the opportunity and congratulations on the series win. Aiden, obviously we take a lot of confidence from that win, but just talk to us about how different a challenge the Irish will pose as opposed to the English.
Yeah, firstly, thank you as well. I think it'll definitely be a new exciting challenge for us. We played them quite recently in Ireland, and we saw exactly what they could do, and they're certainly a team that are improving series by series. We witness now them against India, and certainly a team that you can't take for granted. So yeah, I think it's about us just sort of working on our plans, trusting our plans that we've got in place that have been working for us. And we know if we sort of take care of our space and play at the right intensities with the right plans in place, hopefully it's enough to get us over the line against Ireland.
Thanks, Amir, for those.
Hi, Aiden. Aiden, with Randy Rousseau and Reza Hendricks now in the top three, how does that change the way that you might play, if at all, and just what difference does it make to the top order?
Yeah, I think it's been Riley and Tristan as well, and Reza. Reza's been around for a while now, but their form that we saw now against England is exciting for us as a team, and creates some good competition amongst the squad, which is certainly a healthy competition for us to have. I think sort of if I play and bat sort of after them in the middle order somewhere, it's probably just about playing the situation. So if they get us off to a fly, it's about coming in and sort of matching the intensity, and if not adding more intensity to the innings. And yeah, sort of playing what's in front of you and the conditions that we think or that we find ourselves in to set a good score, to chase whatever we've been set. So it's been great to have all those guys in form, guys putting their hands up in different games, and it's exciting for us as a squad to have that around us.
Thanks for those. Ken?
Thanks, Lucy. How's it, Aiden? Just, I guess it's kind of a follow-up to that last question. You've had a really good run over the last year in T20 cricket, but then just lately you couldn't play in India, and then you get left out of the first two games here in England. Just how frustrating has that been, and how much kind of communication was there with the players? Because Rusty was also left out. It almost seemed like the first two games there was a bit of experimentation, obviously with the World Cup in mind. How difficult has it been sitting out, and just what have been some of the chats with you around that?
Yeah, look, from the India series point of view, that was incredibly frustrating, but it's one of those things, and getting COVID it's strange nowadays. It's just one of those things, and you crack on with it. So it was frustrating to miss out on that series in those conditions against a really good team. But coming here to England, the communication has been really good from the coach, the management team, the captain, Dave, just with regards to where we stand and what the plans were for the series against England. And because that communication was so good, it was nice for us as players to understand where they're coming from, and it makes it a lot easier to understand why they're doing it. I think these things happen quite often in building up to World Cups. You want to pick your best squad, and it's important to give guys fair opportunities in order to select your best squad. So that's what it was all about, and certainly from myself and Rusty's point of view, it's very easy to understand that, because at the end of the day, that's what the best is for the team, especially the squad that goes to the World Cup, hoping to create something special and do something special there. So all for the good reasons, and it makes it, from a player's point of view, a lot easier to deal with and understand.
Thanks, Ken. We'll go Lloyd, then Tafu.
Thanks, Lucy. How's it, Aiden? Hope you're well. South Africans are very excited at the moment about Tristan Stubbs, and there's a lot of hype surrounding him and the performances that we've seen, I suppose, over the last three games, from that explosive batting to the fielding and the whole package really. You know better than most what it's like to be a young player surrounded by that much hype when breaking through into international cricket. I mean, what advice would you have for a guy who's at that stage of his career in a situation similar to what you experienced? And just speak a bit about him as a player and how good his start has been.
Yeah, he's had an awesome, I think what's it been now, 6 months or so. Bit of a roller coaster, but an exciting one for him, and he's shown on his tour that he fits into international cricket and he's able to do some really special things. So it's awesome to have him in the squad. It's exciting for us as a squad to have a player with his X-factor ability, with the bat especially, sort of in the back overs, and his power. So awesome to have him around. He's a great guy. He's a good laugh. Young and enjoys life, and yeah, it's been great to have him. I think from an advice point of view, I wouldn't say too much to him. I think he's on cloud nine now, and it's about him sort of staying there and enjoying sort of every second that he is here on tour with us, and for the things that are to come for him. I'm sure it's going to be quite a lot of things that are going to be thrown his way, but good positive things. So to keep being himself, like I said, he enjoys his life. He's a bit of a free spirit, and always got a smile on his face and seems to enjoy what he's doing. So that's what I would suggest. I mean, I haven't got it worked out either, but it's just about him really enjoying what he's doing. It's been awesome 6 months for him, and the longer he can drag that out, the more better memories he's going to have on and off the field. So incredibly happy for him, and it's been really awesome to have that young, fresh energy in the squad.
Thanks.
Thanks, Lloyd. Talbot?
Thanks, Rissy. How's it, Aiden?
Awesome.
I think it's fair to say that before you went off to the IPL, you probably weren't playing as well as you would have liked. And you've come back as much more the player that South Africans recognise, I think, and playing rather well. How much of the rebuilding of I don't know, your game and your confidence was the IPL responsible for? Was it an important part in putting you back on track?
I would certainly say it helped. Yes, it was nice to have a decent tournament there. I wouldn't say an amazing tournament, but it was nice to score a few runs and experience a full IPL tournament with a great bunch of guys there at Sunrisers. So I suppose confidence is a massive thing in this game, especially as a batter. I'm assuming it's the exact same for bowlers though as well. So that tournament certainly provided me with that bit of confidence, that bit of belief that I was probably lacking prior to that IPL tournament. So yeah, I definitely say it played a role in terms of putting me in a better space mentally, and giving me that little bit more belief that I can compete at this stage and on the IPL stage and with some of the really good cricketers in the world. So yeah, it was from there. It's been a bit better, but yeah, we keep our head down and working hard and learning the lessons that we can along the way.
Thanks, Talbot. I see there are a couple of follow-ups, so we will have time for those, but then we will, we'll go Zahir, Lloyd, Fidosi and Ken, and then we'll finish with Ken. Thanks, Zahir.
Hi, Aiden. It's about 12 months ago. You guys were just a couple of months out of a World Cup, and it's roughly the same situation that you find yourselves in Ireland now as per last year. Just how much would you say the side has grown since being in Ireland last year to where they are now, and if so, what has been the key factors in you guys putting in the performances that you are now?
Yeah, it's been a huge difference, to be honest. I say that with the utmost humility from the squad's behalf, but I really think the squad has improved a lot. The first thing that comes to mind when you were asking that question was sort of the skill sets that each squad member has gone and worked on, to give themselves more options when we're out in the middle and when we're under pressure, and to sort of develop those skills so that they're not super high risk. So it might not have been something that we were doing sort of 12 to 18 months ago and didn't have those options, and now we have access to those options because of the amount of hard work guys have put in, and don't see them as being sort of super high risk anymore. So that's just testament to the hard work that The guys have put in plans and sort of, like I said, options have been really good. I think the guys have done a lot of homework off the field for each series and sort of trying to get the percentages in our favour in terms of the game plans that we carry across onto the park. So it's been really cool to be a part of. It's still a work in progress, but it's always nice when guys are putting in a lot of effort off the field to sort of see the rewards when it's game time out in the middle.
Thanks, Ahir. Lloyd?
Thanks, Lucy. And apologies if this is a bit out of place. As Telford said, you looking quite good in that middle order at the moment. I'm just wondering if that move down the order is something that's been spoken about for the longer format in Test cricket at all with you, and if it's something that you would be open to in this next chapter of your career.
I haven't had too many discussions as of yet with regards to red ball cricket. I've only ever done top of the order stuff, and so I can't sort of compare the two. But it is obviously something I'd be open to. I think if you look at the makeup of the Test team at the moment, the top three have done really well over the past few series, and it makes a very big difference when your top three is getting you off to good starts and laying a good foundation for the team. So over the moon for the three of them, Dean, Sarel and KP, and I'm not even expecting to play, to be honest, but if there's a role to be filled in the middle order and the coaches and selectors think that's where they can maybe get some value out of me, then definitely we'll put the work in to try sort of add contributions in terms of runs to the team. So it's a good space to be in. I think obviously would be open to trying it, but would have to prepare accordingly and maybe make those slight mental adjustments. But I think we'll cross that bridge when we get there sort of next week. I think we'll start focusing a lot more on the red ball stuff and see what comes of it from there.
Thanks, Lloyd. For those, then we'll end with Ken.
Hi, Aiden. I'm just listening to you talk about Tristan Stubbs and then also kind of your understanding of where you are in the squad. And I mean, for a guy who's only 27, you're sounding a lot older than that in terms of talking about some of the younger guys. Just as part of a bigger picture, like following up from what Lloyd has said, where do you see yourself now? I mean, you've said maybe you're not expecting to play tests. I don't know how you see yourself in other formats. Do you feel, is your career taking a particular direction that you can describe for us?
I wouldn't say it's sort of had a change in direction. I still, with everything I have, want to try to be involved in all three formats, and obviously our currency is runs as a batter, and I obviously can appreciate that I might have not scored as much or as many runs as I should have in certain formats, and I think that's part and parcel of how things work in this game that we hate to love and love to hate. But it's about scoring runs and contributing towards the team, and that's what it ultimately comes down to. So I would still love to be involved in all three formats for as long as I can, and we'll put as much work as I can in to try keep that dream of playing all three formats alive.
Thank you for those. Ken?
Aiden, just going back to the Ireland series, I suppose we should look at it in the context of the bigger picture, the World Cup. Now, in Australia, the grounds are going to be a lot bigger than Bristol, where the guys came a bit of a cropper in T20 against England. As soon as you guys moved to Cardiff and Southampton, you looked a different team, with the bigger boundaries. Australia will be different, but is this part of the sort of Proteas T20 game that you guys want to get right, that ability to also produce the performances on much smaller fields?
Definitely, I think it's something that I think we are maybe a team that plays better cricket on slower wickets, bigger fields, which is strange, but you would think as a team you'd be hoping for great wickets and small boundaries, but I honestly think the this team has played some of their best cricket on slightly tougher conditions, on bigger outfields. So it's definitely something we want to try get right and improve on. Like I said earlier, the plans are in place. Obviously, when the wickets are good and the boundaries are smaller, the margin for error becomes a lot smaller. So yeah, we're going to definitely try and nail that on a smaller field here in Bristol, and keep sort of trying to grow as a team and find ways to compete and put some match-winning performances together. It is exciting. It is, like you say, it's the journey of going to a World Cup now, and the guys seem to be in a really good space and are understanding the reasons behind why we try things and try to develop new options and try them in games. And if they don't work, you'd almost rather make that mistake now. So by the time you get to the World Cup, you have it nailed down as best as you can. So that is definitely the focus. Well, not obviously the primary focus at the moment is the series, but with a small eye on the bigger picture being the World Cup, I think balancing those two has been really good as a squad.